Innovation by Design. This is the assignment walkthrough for the assignment titled Assignment Number 10, Software MVP and Test 2. So this will be a pretty quick video. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is taking everything we learned, the key insights, but really everything that we learned from Test 1, and optimizing our approach for a second round of testing. This is, you imagine you just like 1% better each time or 10% better each time, eventually it's going to be pretty darn good. So everything, how did we update our website? How did we update our feedback? Mechanism? How did we update our app itself? So our software app itself. Essentially, again, this is really how it works in the real world too. It's incremental improvement. And in new iterating. So imagine this too. Imagine like App Store, you see an app on the App Store and you see version 1.0.1, 1.0.2, 1.0.3, and this is the app getting better. And how is it getting better? It's getting better from the feedback from real people. It's optimizing, and we are the optimizers. So we're the ones who actually implement those optimizations. Okay, so similar to last week, first I'll let you kind of read all of this. On that first slide, we'll do 1 to 2 sentence summary, just kind of like highlight what it is the differences are. And then maybe more of a breakdown. Really, I think this is more 1 to 2 sentence summary of what's changed like overall. During the first week, I went to this store and I approached people in this section, gave them my QR code that sent them to my website. This week I'm going to post on social medias, or this week I'm going to go to this different store, this different place, or I learned this new insight, and I'm going to go and look at this new network. Again, the idea is the number one reason a startup fails is not enough customers. So right now is at the very beginning is where we really need to focus on not just collecting that qualitative data, but we're collecting that qualitative data and we're also forming our early mailing list. You really should be capturing the emails. It's not necessarily a requirement for the course, but you think of it this way, is that you're collecting all this data on one hand, and on the other hand, it is that you're growing this mailing list so that when it is that we're ready to, we're ready to open up shop, so to speak, we have a long line of people waiting to join, and you can see that like on an app, right? So in other words, like everyone who has done our survey and given us their email. Now, when it's ready to go to the App Store and download it. Here's the link to the App Store page, and you can go and download it, and you have all those people getting those downloads on day one. So pretty good. Slide 2, specific changes like bullet points on the app itself, so the actual MVP itself. Again, I know that most of you are probably on the free plan on Lovable, and so you only have so many edits a day. So it is actually nice that we needed a little bit of time in order to be able to do that, okay? And you think about this too, is that like 1 week, so like what can we do in 1 week to optimize? So what did we do last week? And then how can we do that better this week, okay? So what is your new distribution strategy? Again, that's back to what I was saying earlier on the like big takeaway. So the idea of like, okay, I went to this store, now I'm going to go to this store, or I went to this local business and I'm going to go to these local businesses. Or I'm going to maybe I'm going to post on social medias. Maybe I'm going to go to Reddit. Maybe I'm going to go to Discord, places like that, and try to get some engagement online. Could be really good too. Maybe you update your feedback survey. Maybe you don't. Basically, if it's long, I recommend probably like making it shorter. So up to you whether or not you actually end up updating the feedback mechanism. Because maybe it was good the first time, and so that's okay. Just let me know. Let me know where it is, what's working, what's not working. Okay, user feedback. At least 5 testers provide evidence of real user engagement from 5 new testers. So this is 5 new people, so not the same 5 people from last week, but 5 new people. You can verifiable evidence. Again, like if you just said that someone did something, it would be like a judge in a court of law would have no choice but to say hearsay, right? So the idea here is providing actual verifiable evidence. So this is what we do in the Runway program very much, is everything is about verifiable evidence. If you just said that someone said something, then that would be hearsay technically. Which is what the judge would say in a court of law. But anyway, so yeah, that's collecting the feedback for the 5 new testers. 5 is not a lot. It could be 50 or 500. Okay. MVP performance evaluation. What worked better compared to the first test? Are there measurable results? You can track a lot of that like in your database. Depending on how much credits you have left, you might set up the mechanisms in other words, like give me a count in the database for how many times this button gets clicked, how many page visitors, so forth. That used to be a thing that we'd very much just do like Google Analytics for, but now we can actually just do it right in our database because it's so easy to code with the Vibe coding tools. Okay. Final reflection and next steps. If you had what would you do next if you had one more week to improve your MVP and the big takeaways? Okay. 7 slides in one deck. It can be more, can be less, just as long as it has all of these things. Probably needs to be at least 7, probably. Public view link. All links images are working. At least 5 new testers engaged with your MVP and gave feedback. You clearly demonstrate MVP iteration and strategic thinking. Okay, so pretty cool. So again, this is we call it. It's still the design thinking. So empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. But you can also think this: build, measure, learn. Build, measure, learn. So we built something last week. We conducted a test and we measured the results. We learned, and then now we're applying what we learned to our next time through the cycle. So now we're going to build again, measure again, and learn again. Build, measure, learn, build, measure, learn. And you actually create businesses get started just like many businesses get started just doing exactly that. So it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You can see how this is very much like a bootstrapping kind of thing. So that's pretty exciting. Okay. As always, reach out if you have any questions. I am here and happy to help. Okay. All right. Let's have a great week. I'll see you next time. Okay. Bye.